So thank you very much, Bernd, and it's always an absolute pleasure and an honour to share any work stream with you. Uh, my my allocation for this roundtable is to talk about the objectives of World Restart Heart, which you very just nicely covered in your last slide there, and also the recent activity around World Restart Heart. But I'd just like to start first of all with a very short video which really summarises the worldwide collaboration for World Restart Heart.
16th of October, we will be celebrating World Restart Heart Day.
Sudden cardiac arrest is the third leading cause of death worldwide.
This initiative, on behalf of the International Liaison Committee, Resuscitation,
is intended to raise awareness of the importance of cardiopulmonary resuscitation,
otherwise known as CPR.
If you see someone who has collapsed and is not breathing normally, call for the emergency services and start CPR, pressing hard and fast on the center of the chest.
Learn how to save a life and make sure those around you learn as well.
It only takes 2 hands to save a life.
So you'll see that video finished with the key phrase, "It only takes 2 hands to save a life," from our wonderful colleagues in Brazil. And you had a starring role in that, because I know that last year you did a phenomenal amount of activity, and as you could see there, training of multiple school children at the base of Sugarloaf Mountain. And it's such a shame that we can't do face-to-face training as much this year, but you are certainly more than active partners in the World Restart Heart initiative. And I know that Bernd mentioned about the partner organisations of ILCOR, but I think it's important to mention that World Restart Heart umbrella is broader even than ILCOR itself. So we have other organisations from around the world who have taken part more and more in World Restart Heart. So, as Bernd has already mentioned, there are several just key objectives around World Restart Heart, and I'm not going to go into any detail because he has already covered this. But last year, we managed a phenomenal achievement. So the first year that World Restart Heart ran, it was most areas of the world were getting used to the concept, setting up systems by which they could maybe start training. Some areas started small and then built upon that. Some areas decided to focus purely on social media messaging. But we did manage to get quite a few people trained. But last year was phenomenal. As you'll see from this publication that was in the Journal of the American Heart Association, with a very key author highlighted there in blue. And again, huge thanks to Naomi and to the rest of the team in Brazil for being phenomenal supporters of this initiative. 5.4 million people around the world were trained in cardiopulmonary resuscitation. 5.4 million, which for an initiative that's only in its second year is amazing. And we had a broad range of activity from all the various aspects of the globe. And so we saw 5.4 million, and up to 206 million people were reached by social media. That is just phenomenal. So it's not just about face-to-face training, but also getting the message out around the world. And we'll hear very shortly from Pascal, who's also a key strategic member of World Restart Heart, the amazing input that we had from the Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent. And I salute you, Pascal, for your leadership and for your collaboration, because we managed to get the message out to more than 190 countries worldwide about World Restart Heart. And that is just simply amazing. But I will leave him to tell you further detail in due course. Unfortunately, though, this year we have an enemy, and that enemy is COVID-19. And I'm sure on behalf of all of us, if any of you who are watching this have been touched by COVID, either directly or a family member, or have had a tragedy, our heartfelt condolences because it is an evil and horrible virus. And it is an enemy of cardiac arrest survival as well. Because what we have seen is that COVID attacks the lung, but also the heart, and it causes an increased rate of cardiac arrest. It has also caused challenges because it has meant social isolation for a lot of people, so they've had their cardiac arrest alone. But mostly there's a huge fear and there's untruths and myths out there, and people are becoming afraid to try and do CPR when someone has a cardiac arrest. But it is okay. You can save a life while staying safe. And this year, because we can't do as much in the way of face-to-face activity, the World Restart Heart Initiative has been predominantly over social media and online training. And I've spent the better part of today, I mean, it is now 5:11 in the evening in the UK, and I've been up since early this morning on social media, and it's been amazing. The activity has been frenetic, it's been positive, it's been overwhelming, with some great activity from all over the world. It started yesterday UK time with the New Zealand Resuscitation Council. They are the first country in the world to see the day start, and they did that on a mountain, which myself and Bernd are very happy about, on a mountain, Mount Victoria, doing CPR training as the day starts. And as the day's gone on, the activity has just been amazing. We've seen children's entertainer, Greg Page from Australia, who has created a very, very good song that teaches kids how to do the right thing. It's very catchy. It's very good. In the UK, just in the last hour, we've had one of our tweets retweeted by the First Minister of Scotland. We've also seen a tweet from a very prolific doctor from America, a Twitter comedian called Dr. Glaucom Flecken, who is just, he's got a huge profile. He's tweeted about World Restart Heart Day as well. But probably my most favourite tweet today came from the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. So they've said, they've talked about the recording of the Radetzky March by Johann Strauss Sr. and how it's at the right rate for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So we've had some great engagement, and it's ongoing. And there's parts of the world who are now just waking up to World Restart Heart Day, and more will happen. And I'm sure we will be doing some media analysis next week to see the impact. But already this morning, before we had even started, there were posts, there were tweets, and there was lots of impact. So in conclusion, the core message that bystander CPR rates need to be increased is more important than ever before. Yes, face-to-face training may occur if it's compliant with local physical distancing guidelines, but this year social media messaging has been more vital than anything else. The tweets from various performers around the world, including the Vienna Philharmonic, show that their songs can save lives, but ultimately, as Bernd said, it only takes two hands to save a life. Thank you for letting me participate in this meeting today.